Baby girl, what you doing with your man? I just popped a Zan, 50,000 in Japan. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do no plan, baby. You did. Dexter.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Shmoo. We are back with another Madden Ultimate Team video. Something different. It's not a pack opening this time, but we ended up completing the Ronnie Lott set, man. It took me about a day and a half, 2 days to get every single card. It was a grind, man. It was a grind. I have no words, man. It was something I would never do again. I had a little taste with it when I did the Oscar Robinson set in NBA2K MyTeam, and yeah, man, that was AIDS. So this right here, this was AIDS. All right, this was so AIDS. But we ended up getting him. I'm a big Niner fan. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna keep him yet. I've been playing a little bit with him. I don't get really too much use with him. He is pretty clutch, you know what I'm saying? Using him, he's great. He's fast, everything you want in a free safety, but like I'm thinking about how much I spent. I'm thinking about, you know, my team overall, and it was fun, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how long I'll be playing this game for, but yeah, I just wanted to complete this set, try to use them for a little bit. I didn't want to buy them off the auctions. Everybody's asking a lot for them, and I felt like it would be funner just to try to see if I can get it for a little bit cheaper. I got them a little bit cheaper, but was it worth all the time and effort that I put into getting them? I don't entirely know. All right, so I'm gonna enjoy it for now. I don't recommend completing him just yet, just because there's a lot of cards that are expensive. We'll go over to the collections, the sets real quick that are really expensive. A lot of sets that you do that are in here to complete for all 32 teams are really expensive. You'll lose a lot. There were some that I actually gained on because it was just a random timing. Right when I complete them, I usually just post them just to get the token. There's a lot of cheap sets. Like this one was pretty cheap, but the goals are expensive. Geno Atkins is just whatever. They're not really too expensive. We got the Tre'Davious White, which is really cheap. A really easy set to do. Chris Harris, he was alright. You kind of lose on this set just because it's 17K, and there's yeah, the Von Miller, which is over 300K, and this card probably doesn't even go for 300K. Jarvis Landry, it was all right, not bad. We got the Gerald McCoy. I did him pretty early. I got the cards for a little bit cheap, so it was pretty much a dub because it was 100K buyback. Larry Fitzgerald, kind of took an L on that set just because it's Larry Fitzgerald. It's like, when I mean L, I just mean like I either try to break even, or you know, I'll lose maybe a little bit just because the 76 payout is not that great. Melvin Gordon, I did make him. I actually had him before and I ended up selling him, just have enough coins for doing all the collections. So I had two of them. I ended up selling them both for around 350. He's a little bit lower now. I think 350 to 375, depending on which one sold first. Now this set was the worst set that you could possibly do. I did save this one for last. It was really expensive, and you only get a 54,000 coins payback. I wouldn't recommend doing this set. I would save it last if you do plan on completing Ronnie Lott. Now I'm gonna stop right here. And before you watch the rest of this video, I don't recommend doing it. Like I said, I really don't. There's potentially more than I think about 80%, 70-80% that you will lose, depending on how much is a lot to you. You will lose coins on it, depending on what sets, depending on what times you post them up, depending on how many are up. If you're lucky, you might be the only one, someone will buy it out. This actually sold pretty quick for me. He's not too expensive. I think it's like 200 to 300K. Nothing too crazy, but it was really cheap to complete, and you only get 2K buyback. So like you would try to hope at least you break even with this. Now this set was really AIDS because all the linemen, they fluctuate in price a lot on the PS4. But this card is goated. Travis Frederick, I used to have his elite in my lineup, and I ended up selling him. But this card, I think it sold for around 400K, a little bit less. You do get 167K back, which is basically the price of one of the linemen that you need. All of the cards in the set are really cheap except for the Sean Lee, but and Zeke Elliott, and that's it. And the lineman, that's all you really need for this set. It wasn't that bad. It was one of the okay sets. He did end up selling. Let's go down to Lane Johnson. This was really hard to complete. I did have a Lane, but I didn't put him into the collection. I already had a diamond. So when I ended up completing this, I was doing Eagles team chemistry. So I ended up putting all my Eagles in there just in case I didn't have enough coin. And I ended up selling both of them at the same time for almost over, I think it was over $1 million for both. And I did get 153K back. So it wasn't that bad. Julio Jones, it was a really expensive set. But you do get 188K. I believe that's the most you get back. But yeah, Julio Jones, I believe he sold for almost 800K. He's like 770, 780. So it was pretty much a dub for me. I probably made 100K coins off this. Reuben Foster, it wasn't that bad to complete. Just a Richard Sherman was a costly one. But other than that, he's pretty much a dub because there's not that many elites in here, but the golds were kind of taxing depending on which golds that you were missing out of your sets. Yeah, besides the fullback's expensive. The Reuben Foster is not that expensive. Other than that, everything else is pretty cheap, and the Richard Sherman was, you know, expensive one, and he did end up selling for around 360, 380. Odell, it was kind of easy to complete. Odell was only expensive one out of here. I think the Landon no, there was a Janoris Jenkins, Landon Collins. They all can vary. They all been going up and down, and the goals are kind of costly depending on who, because some people would be trying to price fix the goals. So I would just recommend, you know, checking the goals before you actually do a set, before you actually want to do a set. Now, Jalen Ramsey was probably one of my favorite sets just because I got the Jalen Ramsey for pretty cheap. And then I got the Bouye for pretty cheap, under 100K. He's usually going for over 100K. Telvin Smith, I had him in my lineup and I ended up putting him in there. And I had the Andrew Norwell as a Nat card. I ended up putting him in there as well. All these cards I used to have, but other than that, everything was just pretty cheap besides the Jalen Ramsey and Bouye. Telvin Smith was about 50K, and the Miles Jack was about like 50K too. So it wasn't that expensive. He ended up almost selling for 800K. And that was pretty crazy to me, but you only get 22K back doing this without about 1.5 mil saved up, stacked up, because then you'll get done quicker. You'll have more time to, you know, start more sets, start different sets, and then you come back to them. Le'Veon Bell. Now, Le'Veon Bell, when I was doing it, his elite card was going up and down. I had Antonio Brown. I ended up putting him in there, so I don't have him in my lineup no more. I didn't think he was that great of a card. I couldn't really tell a difference. He had great stats, but in game he just played really funky to me. I don't know why. Clowney, he was a dub. I really wanted to keep his diamond, but I ended up putting a JJ Watt in there. I downgraded mine. I had him powered up to a 90. But these cards, these four cards right here, they're taxing. They're taxing. All right, so we got all these, and they're probably, that's about, JJ Watt was like almost 300K. Hopkins 150. These are 600. Probably like almost around 800 for this top row right here alone. So that's pretty costly. And we got the diamonds, goals as well. The goals add up. You know what I'm saying? You want to get all the goals in every set for under 60K, if anything. You always want to get them for a lot cheaper. Xavier Rose. Now this card, right when I put it up, it sold right away. Usually when I put cards, they're either like 10 to 20K less, and it sold instantly. This card, I really wanted to try this card out, but I didn't have a chance to. They have a lot of elites, but there are a lot of low elites. These two bottom rows are all low. Besides Xavier Rose and Harrison Smith, those are the most expensive cards in the set, and it totaled about like 300-400K just for these top two cards, and you only get 12K back. So it set you back. But Xavier Rose, I believe, sold for almost 700K. Oh, he sold for over, I think almost 700K. So like everything was pretty cool. It's a lot really time consuming. Now, was it worth it? I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't do it. There's potentially, you know, like I said earlier, there's potential that you can go negative and lose coin. But if you really want the Ronnie Lott, I really want him to be in my lineup all year. But I'll go through my lineup real quick. What also helped me is that I didn't get the Nat collection in the beginning, and I ended up buying it before I did the set, and I got a lot of elites that were, you know, it kind of helped me throughout the whole process. I bought these two. I copped a couple elites, couple goals, helped me a lot. I got a couple expensive ones like Marshawn Lattimore, and I believe I can't remember the other ones top of my head, but I got the Marshawn. I got a bunch of 50K Nat elites that I needed for the sets, which helped me out a lot. So I recommend, if you guys didn't do that before you do the collections. And yeah, but like I'm planning on selling them. I'm not sure yet. He's going for around 1.2 right now on the PS4. I do need to fill out my lineup. I need to get the diamond Clowney, and I want to get the elite Von Miller to power him up. I kind of want to get my JJ Watt back as well. I want to stack up the defense. I don't really notice him too much on the defensive presence, like I said earlier. So I don't know. I want to even out my lineup a little bit more. I started out with an 89 overall, and somehow I'm under. I'm under. So I'm back to 88. My offense at 88, my defense at 89. But yeah, I think that's gonna be the video. Hopefully, if you guys want to see some gameplay with Ronnie Lott, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, I don't recommend doing it yet, but it was fun doing it. It's fun having this card in my lineup, looking at it. His stats are amazing. I do need to put another chem boost on him if I am gonna keep him. It boosts him up to a 96. I do have these chemistries. I have the 9er chemistry. I'm missing one. I kind of messed up my chemistry because I did sell something, but this is usually at a 30. Yeah, everything's pretty much set. This is usually at 30. So when I add that one player, he goes up to a 96 for some reason. That one position is gonna make up for all the positions I'm kind of lacking in. So I might sell him. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's gonna be a video. I'm gonna see y'all later in the next one. Yay!
She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry.